Let me tell you a truth no one talks about. Your daughter's wedding doesn't become expensive on the day it happens. It becomes expensive the day you realize you never prepared for it. And today, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to save you from a pain I've seen break too many good people. There was a man I knew. His name was David. He wasn't wealthy, but he wasn't poor either. He worked hard, provided well, paid his bills on time, and believed that if he just kept working, everything would fall into place when the time came. He had a daughter named Sarah. Beautiful girl, kind heart, the type of child who made every sacrifice feel worth it. David used to say the same thing every parent says. When her time comes, I'll make it special. I'll give her the wedding she deserves. And he meant it, every word. But meaning it and planning for it are two very different things. Years passed. Sarah grew up, got a good education, met a good man, and one evening, she came home with that glow in her eyes and said the words every father waits to hear. "Dad, we're getting married." David smiled. He hugged her. He celebrated with her. But that night, when the house went quiet, he sat alone in his room and did something he hadn't done in years. He opened his savings account. He looked at the numbers, and his heart sank because the dream he had been carrying in his mind for so long didn't match the reality staring back at him from the screen. He realized something painful that night. Love doesn't pay for weddings. Preparation does. Now, I'm telling you this story not because I want you to feel sad. I'm telling you because I want you to feel ready. Because somewhere out there, maybe you're a father or a mother holding a little girl's hand right now. Or maybe she's already in school, already growing faster than you can believe. Or maybe she's a teenager, and you're starting to feel that time slipping through your fingers. Wherever you are in that journey, today is the day you stop hoping it'll work out and start making sure it will. Let me walk with you through this, not as a financial expert talking down to you, but as someone who's seen what happens when planning meets love and what happens when it doesn't. Because the difference between those two outcomes is not luck. It's not income. It's intention. It's a decision you make today that changes everything 10 years from now. Here's what most people don't understand. A wedding is not a single expense. It's a timeline. It's a countdown that starts the day your daughter's born, whether you realize it or not. And every year that passes without a plan is a year you lose the most powerful tool you have in building wealth: time. You see, time is the one thing money can't buy, but it's also the one thing that makes money grow. When you start early, even the smallest amounts become something significant. When you start late, even large amounts feel like they're never enough. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine you have a newborn daughter, and imagine you decide, right now, to put aside just $50 a month. Not $1,000, not $500, just $50. That's less than what most people spend on coffee in a week. That's one dinner out. That's a couple of subscriptions you probably don't even use. $50. You put it in a separate account, somewhere you don't touch, somewhere it just sits and grows. Over 18 years. That $50 a month becomes nearly $11,000, and that's without any investment returns. Now, add a modest 5% annual return, which is reasonable with smart, low-risk investing, and that number climbs to over $17,000. From $50 a month. You see what I'm saying? It's not about how much you make. It's about how early you start and how consistent you stay. But let me be honest with you. Most parents don't start when their daughter is born. Life gets in the way. Bills come. Emergencies happen. kids need things. The car breaks down. The roof leaks. I get it. Life is expensive, and it doesn't stop demanding just because you're trying to plan ahead. So maybe you didn't start early. Maybe your daughter is already 10, or 15, or even 20. Does that mean it's too late? Absolutely not. It just means you have to be smarter and more intentional with what you do from this point forward. If your daughter is 10 years old, you have 8 years. That's still enough time to build something meaningful. $100 a month over 8 years with a 5% return gives you over $11,000. $150 a month gives you almost $17,000. These are not small numbers. These are real contributions toward a real wedding. And here's the part people forget. You don't have to fund the entire wedding yourself. You just have to fund enough so that when the day comes, you're not drowning. You're not borrowing. You're not emptying every account you have and praying nothing goes wrong afterward. Let me take you back to David for a moment. After that night when he realized he wasn't ready, he didn't give up. He did what a lot of parents do. He scrambled. He took out a loan. He borrowed from family. He put expenses on credit cards. And yes, Sarah got her wedding. It was beautiful. She was happy. But here's what nobody talks about. What happens after? David spent the next 4 years paying off that wedding. 4 years of stress. 4 years of interest piling on. 4 years of looking at his bank account and feeling that weight. And one day, he told me something I'll never forget. He said, "I gave her the wedding, but I lost my peace, and I don't know if that was the right trade." That sentence sits with me because it reveals something we don't say out loud. Weddings are supposed to be celebrations of love and new beginnings. They're not supposed to be financial disasters that follow you for years. And when a parent has to choose between giving their child a beautiful day and protecting their own future, something is already broken. But it doesn't have to be that way, and that's exactly why I'm sitting here with you today. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to treat your daughter's wedding fund the same way you treat any other major life goal. You wouldn't wait until the day you retire to start thinking about retirement. You wouldn't wait until your kid is 18 to start thinking about college. So why would you wait until she's engaged to start thinking about her wedding? The moment you accept that this is coming, that this is real, that this is not someone else's problem, but your responsibility and your honor, that's the moment everything changes. Start with a separate account. It doesn't matter which bank. It doesn't matter if it's a high-yield savings account, a certificate of deposit, or a basic investment account. What matters is that it's separate. You don't mix it with your emergency fund. You don't dip into it when life gets tight. This account has one job: to grow quietly, steadily, and consistently until the day your daughter needs it. Name it something meaningful. Sarah's future. Emily's big day. Daughter's wedding fund. Make it real in your mind so it becomes real in your actions. Now, automate it. This is the key most people miss. If you rely on yourself to manually transfer money every month, life will get in the way. You'll forget. You'll justify skipping a month. You'll tell yourself you'll catch up later. But if it's automated, if the money moves from your paycheck into that account before you even see it, it's gone. It's saved. It's working. And a year from now, you won't even miss it. You'll have adjusted. But that account? It'll be growing. Let's talk about what happens when you combine discipline with time. Let's say you're in your early 30s and your daughter just turned 5. You decide to save $150 a month. That's $36 a week. That's $5 a day. That's one less lunch out. That's skipping one streaming service. That's being a little more intentional with weekend spending. It's not extreme. It's not painful. But over 13 years, with a modest 6% return, you're looking at over $35,000. That's a significant wedding fund. That's the difference between panic and peace. But here's where it gets even better. In the United States, there are accounts designed to help you grow money with tax advantages. A 529 plan, for example, is typically used for education. But in many cases, funds can be redirected or used flexibly. There are custodial accounts, brokerage accounts, and Roth IRAs that allow money to grow tax-free or tax-deferred. I'm not saying you need to become a financial expert overnight. I'm saying you need to have a conversation with someone who is. Talk to a financial advisor. Spend an hour learning your options, because the parents who win at this game aren't the ones who make the most money. They're the ones who make their money work the smartest. Let me give you one more picture. Imagine it's the week before your daughter's wedding. The venue is booked. The flowers are ordered. The dress is perfect. And you're sitting at the kitchen table, not stressed, not scrambling, not on the phone with a loan officer. You're calm. You're present. You're soaking in every moment because you did the work years ago. That version of you exists, but only if the you today makes a decision. This isn't just about money. It's about dignity. It's about stepping into one of the most important days of your daughter's life and not feeling small. It's about being able to say yes when she asks for something special. It's about not having to apologize for what you can't afford. And most of all, it's about protecting your own future so that giving her a beautiful start doesn't mean losing yours. So here's my challenge to you. Don't close this video and move on. Don't say you'll think about it later. Open your banking app right now. Create an account. Name it. Set up an automatic transfer. Start with whatever you can. $20, $50, $100. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you start. Because one day, maybe 10 years from now, maybe 15, you're going to look back at this moment and thank yourself. Or you're going to wish you had. And I want you to be the parent who thanks yourself. Your daughter's wedding is coming. Time doesn't wait. But if you move today, you'll be ready when it arrives.